Goal to force extra time, of course, if they win 1-0. For Malaysia, they keep a clean sheet. They are through. What will happen over these 90 minutes? It's going to be absolutely fascinating. We saw Indonesia a little bit understated yesterday against Vietnam. An early goal, perhaps really throwing a spanner in the works. Tirasa Dungna there will be the key man. And as has often been the case for Thailand, the changes are few and far between. The only one, perhaps quite an interesting one here, is Kittipong is out and Kampon, the goalkeeper, comes in, the 25-year-old. That's the only change made from that first leg.
Yeah, and again, it just goes back to what Manapolking was saying about how happy he was with the performance, and he felt that they did a lot of things right, and I would go along with that. I would agree with that. Again, as I said, it's no real surprise to me to see that they've gone with pretty much the same lineup, except for in the goalkeeping department. And Kampon comes in. I don't think Kittipong has actually looked too confident throughout this campaign, throughout this competition. Has looked a little bit shaky, so that part, that change in goal doesn't really come as a surprise to me. There's plenty of quality in this side. We saw on that graphic, it looks like what they've been told is they're going to be setting up in a 4-3-3 sort of formation. We'll see what happens as the game goes on. But there is fluidity and there is flexibility in the setup for Thailand, and I'll show you a few examples of that once we kick off.
Well, you saw there, Faisal Halim with Tiraton. He's got the captain's armband today because Safawi Rashid has been dropped. 3 other changes, Lee Tuck on the bench, as well as the 2 wing-backs, Reventiran and Quentin Cheng. So in come Hakim Hassan, also Fazli Mazlan. Azam has also returned from suspension. And you've got Bukairi Ajmal returning to the starting 11. So he's changed his 2 wing-backs, refreshed things up in that department. Safawi not starting as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I think he's got to look to try and manage the condition of the players, the fitness levels and things like that. So he demands Kim Pan-gon a high-intensity style of play, and that can have an impact. That can take things out of these players. So he's got to keep them fresh. He's got to try and get players to come in so that they can react and they can give him exactly what he wants and what's required of them. It's going to be a high-intensity match. There's going to be a need to really make sure that they're switched on defensively. I'm interested to see how they sort of set up as well, whether it's a back 5 that they go with Brendan Gunn in central midfield. What I saw, what I observed in the warm-up was they were warming up with a back 4 with Brendan Gunn just sitting in front of that back 4. That was the setup that they had during the warm-ups. And I think Brendan Gunn has been pushed into midfield alongside Wilkin to sort of say, we're going to try and control or counter Thailand's strengths in those areas with the likes of Tiraton in there, you know, being the player who likes to get on the ball for Thailand, and even Piradon in those areas of the park.
Yeah, I think you noted in the game against Vietnam, the group stages, Malaysia started with a back 4. You were actually quite impressed with the fact that they had Brendan Gunn a little bit further up the pitch in that defensive midfield role, and then actually when he retreated back, so did Malaysia as well. Yeah, that's right. That was a game against Vietnam, and we've seen that flexibility from Kim Pan-gon. You know, he's quite happy to go with a back 3 or a back 5 at times, switch it up to a 4. I just maybe think he looked at that game and thought, you know, they were really dominated in that one, and Thailand actually controlled, as I said, large parts of that game with how good they were in midfield. And perhaps he's felt that now he's gone with a 4 and a 2 in front of that back 4 just to help Malaysia have a little bit more of a presence in those areas. Yep, another willingness to show that flexibility has been one of the key factors, you feel, for Kim Pan-gon so far. Yeah, we're seeing them start with a 4 at the back here. Fazli, whenever he's played for Malaysia in this competition, he's on the left-hand side of a back 3. Oh, you know, he's very comfortable playing at left back. Of course, he was at one point the best left back in Malaysia, pretty much. A bit unlucky with a series of injuries. There from Darren Lock. Just saw Pansa there with his bit of a plaster above his eye. As Thailand looking to come forward here. Tirsin to get that to Ekanet.
He was really good. Tirsin is playing as that lone forward at times here. He'll get support in midfield from the likes of Pirelon and Sarat. But Tirsin, you know, he's so smart, he's so clever with how he controls things, and how he uses the ball, how he protects it, how he brings his teammates into the game. Of course, a real goal threat.
There's Tiraton. Pulling the strings for Thailand. Well, there's to play behind Darren Lock, perhaps. Is that staying in play? It has. Sasalak up to board, and these two didn't really have the kind of combinations that we've become accustomed to in this competition. Well, with a mistake there from Sharul. And he was just trying to take that poor pass, wasn't he? Tirasin through past Dominic Tan. That would have been a very interesting position for Thailand.
Yeah, it looks like such a lovely playing surface as well. And that mistake from Sharul, how quick was Tirsin? Just looking to pounce on it. I think Sharul will be grateful for Dominic Tan, able to step across and stop Tirsin from getting in behind. Dominic Tan has actually been pretty steady for Malaysia in central defence, I think, in this competition.
There's Azam, who has been restored to the starting 11 after what some might feel is a controversial sending off. Certainly did elicit a lot of response, particularly on social media. In the hands of Duan Van Hao. Those two could be reacquainting themselves in a few days' time if Malaysia have things their way.
Yeah, I had people sending me screenshots and videos of the incident online like I was the referee and made the call. It was pretty interesting. But listen, this is what this competition means. This is the kind of reaction it elicits from people, you know? There's so much of that passion and that desire to want to go on and win this. Regional rivalries, regional bragging rights.
Very interesting to see some videos from last night's game, the aftermath of last night's game and some of the incidents that happened.
I tell you what, it's not just fans who are posting up videos. We had Shin Tae-yong post a series of videos focusing mainly on Don Van Hao and the things he's been up to.
Just drifting across. There's Kritsada. The only goal that they conceded last week, sorry, the last leg. Perhaps the goalkeeper paying the price for that one. Another mistake that he made. There he is, Kampon. Not even a handful of caps yet for him. So it's much of baptism of fire here. Coming for such a vital game. Here's Brendan Gunn playing in that slightly more advanced position this evening. Let's see if that continues. Ekanet. Free kick here for Thailand.
Yeah, there's at times look like a 4-4-2 for Malaysia when they don't have the ball. But Fazli is moving in field. Faisal Halim, when Malaysia don't have possession, he will also just drop in front of Wilkin and Gan.
Wants some movement. So we talked about consistent selection. Just seeing Manapoking there. He's changed things up in his wear as well today. He's not wearing his usual uniform of black shirt, blue jeans. Perhaps the first loss in 20 matches for Thailand in the AFF Cup has prompted that change.
Yeah, change of wardrobe. Yeah, something we noticed in the warm-up, something you can see here, just at the bottom of your screen. Just have a look at Manapoking. Normally in a black shirt, blue jeans. He's gone with very nicely. We get a good shot of that. Yeah, a light blue shirt this time around.
Change your clothes, change your fortune, perhaps.
Now, the only thing about wearing a shirt like that in this part of the world, in these
exactly
conditions,
what you're going to say. Well, they say patches win matches.
Patches win matches. Maybe that's what he's going for, right? At least with the black shirt, you don't have any real spots that get easily noticed. Anyway, back to the football.
You may have noticed that this is obviously an area of concern for Roshan. Supana looking for Tirasin. There's Ekanet. So Piradon has sort of been preferred here, Roshan, ahead of, say, someone like an Adisak. They need the goals, but he quite likes Manapoka quite likes Piradon. Started the last few games.
Yeah, and you know what Piradon gives you as well is he's a good passer of the ball in midfield, but he's not shy to get forward. And just because Thailand set up in this way, it looks like they've got an extra midfielder in there. It doesn't mean they're not going to be attacking. Of course they are, because they can get Ekanet to move forward. And we've seen Thailand with their setup, what they like to do is to have control in the middle of the pitch, to have numbers in those central areas to help them dominate matches and dominate that area of the park.
Saslak was just trying his luck a little earlier to get that throw in. Referee wasn't having any of it. Here's Shadul. Done by Bukhari. Thailand now. Sasalak for Borden. Does well. That's perhaps where people are more accustomed to seeing Tiraton swinging in from the left-hand side. He finds Tirasin, who's on the ball now. Supanal. Here's Ekanet. We've seen a lot of the ball already, Thailand. These early stages. Out across to Borden. Was there a deflection? There will be a corner. Piradon having a go.
Yeah, nice and patient in possession, the home side. Go from right to left. Create this opening. Moving that Malaysian side around. This opening for Piradon. Don't know if there was too much of a touch on that. Might have been the slightest of the touches from Sharul.
Everyone immediately putting their hands up for the ties. Here's Tiraton. Referee. Wow, this is... I've enjoyed these lectures.
Yeah, and the players are back at it.
Gun gets ahead on it. Here's Supanan. Saslak is the smallest player for Thailand, right at the back. Put all the big guns up there. Can it just close down? Look at Fazli Masla. Psyching himself up. Ooh. No comment on the throw?
I've given up.
So the referees.
I've given up, yeah. I've given up on the foul throws that don't get called.
Borden. This is very similar, isn't it? Deja vu to the second half in particular.
Pretty much
of that first leg.
That's right, pretty much what we saw in the first leg. Malaysia sitting back, Thailand having a lot of the ball. Looking very composed in possession. Faisal Halim has just gone down. The referee said, get up and get on with it.
Slowly rising. There he is. Tiraton. Oh, he finds Borden here. Sharul is there. Bukhari can't really fend off Borden. They do get it away in Malaysia. Kampon will grab hold of this.
Bansa under a little bit of pressure from Darren Lock. Coming together between those two players in incident that happened for what should have been Malaysia's second goal.
Was there a foul? Referee is really having none of it tonight. Perhaps that's what's needed. That's a beautiful turn from Ekane. That's a great cross as well. Enough from that rather big hair of Sharul. Has that done just enough there?
I think his hairstyles helped him out there, Sharul, because that's such a big header. Beautiful delivery, great work by Ekane down his right, and then he whipped that in. Well, I thought that was headed onto the head of Tirasin. Instead, the hair of Sharul just gets enough of a flick on that to take it away from the dive of Tirasin.
It is,
it really is. Not a header, but a header. I'll get my coat.
Yeah, thanks. That was very, very close, very hairy for Malaysia just then. Oh, this referee is just, look at how he's talking to the players. He's just not brooking any kind of dissent.
Borden wasn't too happy with the fact that Gunn just fell on him. It wasn't too much to do with the challenge. There was an arm in the back of Borden, but Brendan Gunn just falling on top of Borden Pala.
Just like the way the referee just manhandling Borden there. Time to get away from it all. Jordanian referee today, Adam Muhammad. We've actually seen already probably more or better deliveries tonight than we did from Thailand in the last game. Remember, you were commenting on how you didn't really particularly thought the deliveries weren't great.
Yeah, I thought Tiraton actually, with his delivery in the last game, actually had an off night.
Here he is now, Tiraton. Straight at Shihan. We've had a couple of nice crosses in though, haven't we, already?
Yeah, but remember, those are incredibly high standards, and I'm going by Tiraton standards, the delivery wasn't very good. He's picked up some good numbers throughout the competition, Tiraton. Yes, he's an important player in how they set up Thailand.
He was the leading assist maker at one point.
Yeah, but also remember, he takes set pieces, so his chance creation numbers and all that will also be a little bit influenced by the fact that he is heavily involved in those situations.
Seeing a lot more of the ball at the moment. Thailand. Almost twice as much as their opponents. Fazli finding Darren Lock, chests it down. See Hakim Hassan, who's been preferred today to Reventiran. Just freshening up those areas. Wing back today appear to be fullbacks, but let's see how long that lasts. Here's Kritsada. Just made a little run there, Ekane. Yes, Supanan. It's a great ball. Behind Tirasin though. Cross from the left, it's Tiraton. Looking to get this away.
Well, another good delivery into the area. Whipped in low, plenty of pace. Does seem like they're getting closer, Thailand.
Here's Kritsada. Down by Tirasin. Now Borden. He's gone for goal. Straight at Shehan. Made the save. Tiraton. Slide that in to Salah. Malaysia now trying to break free. Campon will get there first. He's giving it away though. He's going to scramble back, is he? No, he's okay. Well, a second goal for Malaysia just really makes that equation very, very difficult for Thailand, doesn't it?
Well, he's helped out by his teammates there, Campon. They're balking on the sidelines. His hands over his face. Quite happy that they got away with that. And again, it would have been just a goal from an error.
Absolutely nowhere, right?
Yeah.
We get that, and then Thailand to score 3. Oh, just not quite the touch that was required for Tirasin to Piradon to put it through.
Here's another look at that effort from Borden. Difficult angle. He's just trying to power it past Shehan. Good height for him. He had his angles covered. Shehan's been pretty steady in goal for Malaysia.
Yeah. Now Tiraton is on his left-hand side more and more. That's a great ball, Tiraton! And they've got the goal they wanted. Tiraton Tirasin. You can write that down as a guarantee almost. It's Southeast Asian football. What a partnership that's been over the years. And once again, it's drawn dividends. His 6th goal of the campaign. Tirasin consolidates his position at the top of the charts.
Well, it was coming. We're getting closer and closer. Have a look at this cross from Tiraton. Beautiful, right onto the head of Tirasin. Check out his movement in the area. That's not good enough in terms of the marking from Dominic. Has to be closer, has to be tighter, has to put a challenge in. There's just far too much time and space for Tirasin to run into and attack that cross. And he's not going to miss from there.
What a sublime delivery.
Yeah.
Just ghosting in between the two. That's just a... That was what was lacking, wasn't it, in the last game?
In the last game, that's right. And I mean, they've been in complete control of this one.
Yeah.
But this is what I talked about at the start with Thailand and the ability to be fluid in possession and the positions that they take up. Tiraton, who starts in central midfield for them, is given license to roam, and there he was popping up on the left. You have a look at the race for the Golden Boot. Tirasin back on top ahead of Tien Lin on those 2 goals for Vietnam last night. The master, Tirasin, just extending that goal-scoring record. That's the goal they wanted. They don't have to hurry things now, Thailand.
25 goals. He's got now in this competition. Tirasin Dangda. What a ball that was. Really fantastic. And, yeah, it's just nice, I guess, for the fans who've been watching Thai football for all these years, seeing Tiraton back on that left-hand side for a bit.
Yeah, it's a rotation of the positions. I said, you know, there's that fluidity and that flexibility in this side. And players knowing when they need to go out and occupy certain areas of the pitch. They're such a well-coached team. And Manopolking has done a fantastic job since he's been in with Thailand. Because players, you know, you can see clearly what the plan is. You can see clearly the players understand what they need to do, where they need to be. And yes, he's blessed with really good technical players who are very good, comfortable in possession, high technical quality. He's got to put the game plan in there and get the players to understand what it is that he wants out of them. And you know, that he's been able to do it and do it so well just says a lot about the kind of coach he is.
And from a sports journalist perspective, he's also very clear.
He is.
When he speaks, when he has these sound bites, when these little interviews, you get quite a lot out of him, and it's very succinct, and you know it's not one of these bland, generic messages.
Yeah.
There's something in there, isn't it?
He's brilliant to talk to. Well, I've spoken to him on a number of occasions. He's just comes across as a really good guy, and it gives you this sense. For me as an ex-player, he's a coach I would have loved to have played for.
Would have been a joy for you to be with, right? Azam first struggled with the throw-in and couldn't get the ball away. Malaysia in some trouble. There was a man in question, Manopolking, who, as much as we said as well, is clear. He's also very honest, and he talked prior to this game about saying actually Malaysia should have got that second goal. Stuart Wilkins' goal shouldn't have been chalked off. By the same token, he also reiterated that Thailand should have got a penalty. And these are both things that you agreed with at the time.
Exactly what he said on commentary at the time as well. Malaysia should have had the second goal, but also if you go by that sort of logic, then Thailand should have also had the penalty, which was the wrong decision made by the referee.
Yeah.
And there was an incident in the first half as well where there could have been a penalty to Thailand, where I think it was Piradon who was taken out by Ahmad Shihan.
This referee's also pretty clear himself about things. Tiraton wants a booking here.
I felt there was a late challenge there from Faisal, and there was a late challenge.
Referee's just taking them both aside and say, guys, there you go.
See, the thing is that at 1-0, let's say, I'll come back to it in a bit.
Cross is played it by Sasalak. Oh, he was winding up there, wasn't he? Tirasin. Still with Thailand. That's fantastic work. Look at that determination by Piradon. Oh, not the touch he would have wanted. Borden was in a good position there. Faisal Halim, you see space down that right-hand side. Azam.
Oh, great challenge.
In fact, it's Tiraton and Thailand who get the... It was Mukari who actually ran into him.
Really good challenge by Tiraton. Well timed, solid. Wins the free kick because he gets tackled to the ground by Mukari on the follow-through. Tiraton did well not to react to that.
I was going to say, he kept his cool as opposed to the last time.
Because there was an arm around his throat.
Yeah. Well, the attacks, if you just looked at that and you just walked into this match, it might appear to you that, you know, okay, maybe Thailand got the odd goal, but actually it has been all one way, hasn't it?
It's been all one way. Kampon hasn't really had anything to do.
Apart from one panicky kick. Yeah.
And those attack numbers are just, once you get into the attacking third inside the opposition half, doesn't actually mean that you're creating anything of note.
Yeah, you're just advancing
into those areas.
There's Tiraton's ball. This one not quite as good as the earlier cross that led to the goal. Here he is again. Sarat. A bit too far away by Saslak. He seems to have swapped around for a little bit, hasn't he, with Tiraton? As you said, is that fluidity?
There's fluidity. You see, just Borden pushes forward. That creates a bit of a gap on the left for Tiraton to go and use. And the reason why they can do that as well, because they're in such good control in possession. So have a look at this earlier opportunity for Borden. He was just in behind him. Couldn't get the contact required to take it past Shihan. But because Thailand hold on to the ball for so long, that gives time for the players to get into the positions that they need to be in. There's time to set themselves into that shape.
There's Mukairi. Now Azab. Mukairi's cross. Never going to get to Darren Lock. There's a man down for Malaysia. Hakim just lost his footing. Said he was getting his jersey yanked.
Yeah, no, as he said, he lost his footing, and it was Supanan who was just too aggressive, too strong.
Now Kim Pang-on is going to get a booking for both coaches. He is Mr. No Nonsense. If looks could kill.
Yellow card for both coaches. I don't know, don't see that happening too often.
Yeah. There you go, confirmation of those yellow cards. Tiraton.
Well, referees quite clearly not there to take any nonsense from anyone.
Yeah. And, not necessarily a bad thing. It's been a bit niggly.
Yeah.
And the referee, I think, has had enough. Faisal Halim is the next to the book.
Yeah, he was just indicating there with the yellow card coming out that it's repeated fouling. I mean, that's really just careless. Faisal, he doesn't need to leave his leg in. Knows what he's doing. And perhaps a bit of frustration because he's not been given an opportunity to get into the game. Has really struggled. Malaysia, and another mistake there allows Ekanet to pick up the ball on the right side.
There's Piradon, now Tiraton. Borden. Great pass, I'm afraid. Should do better than that. Piradon to Supanan.
I just see Tiraton moving on to the left again. Borden tucks in. Yeah. A nice setup in possession. Sasalak isn't getting so advanced. You can see he's almost setting up in this with this back three almost. Sasalak tucking in, leaving that space for Tiraton out wide. And Supanan on the right is the player who has to get forward into these advanced areas. Ekanet will then push infield. There's another look at that cross. Delightful, just delightful. I mean, it's you know, you can get really frustrated with wide players. I won't say wingers, but players in wide positions with time and space like that to send the cross in, and they put in horrible quality, and it's just really frustrating. But that, as you said, is textbook. That is just brilliant. And if you're a striker, you're Tirasin, you're thinking, I'm going to get the service here because I know he's got quality. I just need to get into that area. Yeah. The cross is going to come. You just need to finish then. Good bit of play by Sasala, and just steps across Bokhari, who actually steps on him in the follow-through twice. Yeah. There's a point Sasala is making to the referee, who, again, is not really willing to listen to anyone or take anything. Yeah. Yeah, how long before somebody makes a video of that challenge of Bokhari and puts it out on social media?
But they've done well there. Advancing through. Here's Tiraton. Finally win the ball back here, Malaysia, but not with it. It's a bad ball in the end from Faisal Halim. Darren Lock gives up the chase. Hakim gets a header on target, their first chance, Malaysia. Straight though at Kampon.
Oh yeah, it's taken quite a while for them to get their first opportunity at goal. Well, they worked it well, Malaysia. They should get some encouragement from that move. And perhaps now it's time for them to just get into the rhythm of the game, in possession at least. Or not.
That aside, it's really been Thailand just passed the ball so well.
Yeah, I don't know, look at it. Darren Lock just gets himself back into position. Nur Hakim, that's a really good cross from Nur Hakim. Actually gets it over the head of Panza. He's a big guy in central defense. Hit a 2 straight. Simple enough save for Kampon to make. It's not the tallest of goalkeepers.
Here's Sasalak. Now boarded. Just about 8 minutes left on half time. I'm not sure that's quite what Borden was looking for, but he's got Tiraton on the ball. Brendan Gunn. He was ready to have an argument there with the referee.
Just having a look at this. He's got a tug of his shirt, you can see that.
Probably didn't need to do that.
Yeah, if he didn't, it would have been all right.
But they feel a lot happier than they've got that first goal, Manu Polking. There you go, aggregate, 1-1. Diretta now, the latest to feel the wrath of the referee.
Right in front of the referee, a forearm into the back of Faisal's head.
He wants to get on with it. These fans have got the goal. They'll want more. They don't want to be chancing it in extra time or even penalties. See, they get a corner here. Tom ensuring that. A further test of Kampon's credentials. Kampon, it's enough on that. Falls to Azam. Looking to get that to Sharul. Now Tiraton is trying to get past Sharul.
That was a good punch by Kampon. Sharul just wasn't too happy with Tiraton throwing his arm about. And that nudge after. He's got that side to his game, Tiraton. We've seen it across the years.
Tiraton with a little bit of a trip there.
And I think the referee has just put his arm around his shoulder. Instead of shouting this time, he's going with a different approach. Just saying to him, then you're in danger of picking up a booking for yourself. Just like Faisal, who was cautioned for repeated fouling. He's just having a word with Tiraton.
It would have been quite the treat to have had the two pocket rockets here, the two little dynamos. Chanatip and Faisal Halim up against each other. Not to be the case. Here's Bakari here with the free kick. Very straightforward one for Kampon. good position here, perhaps. Couldn't quite control the ball the way he wanted, perhaps, Tirasin. Too far away from Ekanen.
He's looked comfortable in goal so far, Kampon. Aside from that one pass that he played to a yellow shirt, his hands, he's been all right. Gathering that well, reading the flight of the free kick.
Of the ball Thailand have had. They have just kind of got back into it in the last few minutes. The Ball King also trying to make his feelings known.
Yeah, he was late. Stepping across Darren Lock.
Touch on there from Sasalak. Man in front of him, Borden. On. Can they cap off this fine first half with a second goal to really give them a big boost ahead of the second half? Charles will get something on it. Kyrie. Wilkin. Across to Bernard Gunn. Pretty much tidied that up. Just about 30 seconds or so left in this first half. We'll see how much added time is given. Supanan. How do you think Kimpan Gon will feel about this first half overall?
I don't think he'll be too happy. I don't think he'll be too happy with the quality Malaysia have shown and how passive they've been. I think defensively there's not been enough of that aggression to close down Thailand, to actually say to Thailand, hey, we're here to play. I think they've allowed themselves to be dominated by the Thais. Yes, Thailand are very good, very comfortable in possession. They've got good quality, but you can't give them that sort of time and space on the ball. That defensive aggression has been lacking from Malaysia, and I think that's what Kimpan Gon will be unhappy about. And I don't think as well, when they've had the ball, they've shown enough quality with it to cause any real problems for the home side.
It'll be interesting to see now how they approach the second half. They may not mind the fact that it could go to extra time. Whatever the case is, of course, the first leg is on Friday. Vietnam will have the advantage of not only playing at home, but having an extra day's rest as well in that first leg. So that is it. The referee has called time on this first half, and it's that man again, Tirasin Dungda, with the only goal so far.
Yeah, good finish, great cross from Tiraton. I love the way they've set up here, Thailand. They've been very dominant in the first half. They've controlled a lot of this match. Malaysia having to wait a long time until having their own opportunity at goal, which is a simple header, easily gathered by Kampon. Otherwise, it's pretty much been Thailand in control of this match so far.
Half-time score here at the Thammasat Stadium. This AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup 2022 semi-final second leg match. It's Thailand 1, Malaysia 0. On aggregate, it's 1-1. Mitsubishi Electric Cup 2022 semi-final second leg. It means it's 1-1 on aggregate. We're seeing a couple of changes here for either side. Adisak has come on for Thailand, Ruventuran for Malaysia. Just get confirmation of those exact changes shortly. On as Roshan Rai told us earlier, probably not. Going to be absolutely delighted about things. Tiraton, the man featured here, he's had that wonderful assist for Tirasadanga. Faisal Halim probably at the other end of the scale. Roshan not been at it really.
Yeah, 4 goals in the competition, but not too much of an involvement this evening. Hasn't had enough service into him as well, to be fair. And I'd expect we'd see Malaysia in the second half just be a little bit more advanced in their positioning. Said they weren't aggressive enough in the first half. Didn't really let Thailand know they were there to play. Expect to see that change in this second 45.
Big throw in here perhaps from Azam. Not everyone has a Pratama Arhan, of course. Can perform those huge throw-ins. So Tirasadanga is the surprise here that he's gone off. Now I just wonder whether something may have happened to him. Hakim Hassan replaced by Ravendra, and that's a straight change in terms of the position in order to play. Hakim playing slightly further up today.
Yeah,
but that's a blow, isn't it, for Thailand?
Tirasin, yeah, well, I think we're all hoping that it's nothing too serious with Tirasin. It's a bit of a precaution, perhaps, because they really do need him. He's such an important player. Painful one for Dominic, coming together between him and Adisak. Let's have a look at this here. I think it's as he lands Adisak. There. It's the heel. The studs connecting with the upper thigh of Dominic.
On impassive for now. Alexander Polking slightly more exuberant. Both have been dished a yellow card at the end of the in the first half. Polking talked about his confidence in his side. He said he's expecting a stronger Malaysian team than the one that was at home. Also was keen to reiterate we're only at the halfway point coming into this one. Dominic is not looking good here. He's not moving well at all.
I was going to touch on Ruventuran coming on for Nur Hakim. I think no real surprise with that change. Nur Hakim wasn't very good in that first half and really looked like he was struggling with the tempo of the game and the quality of the match, or the quality he was up against, I should say.
Here's Sasalak. Is that perhaps where Howie was expected to play in a different sort of higher up the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, I think domestically he is quite used to that, but it's just a difference in the quality, a difference in the level. You know, club football on domestic front and playing on the international stage against a side like Thailand here away from home. And Malaysia as a whole, I think, didn't play very well in that first half. So, you know, it's not just him that was off the ball. I think it was, you know, it was the whole side essentially, and that's why Kim Pan Gon has gone with those changes. Evidenced
as well by the numbers you saw there for Faisal Halim, who's
yeah,
their big player.
hardly gotten him involved, Faisal Halim, and he's normally such a threat, but they haven't been able to get the service into him. You know, they haven't found his runs in behind the opposition. He's not had the opportunity to do any of that, really.
He has been brilliant thus far. By Azam. Let's see how Reventhren does in this role that's been given to him. Suck the new man in. Couple of additions ago in this competition, he was the top scorer. Hasn't really had too much of a look into the Thai side since then. Opportunity to step up here today, Kritzada. Sasalak is quick, but he's not going to get there.
I haven't seen Sasalak get forward too much down the left, and that's been a deliberate tactic from Thailand. You know, he's just held his position in the back line when they're building up, and that's also to create that space ahead of him for Tiraton to get into on the left. So he holds his position, Borden moves inside, moves in field to try and draw that Malaysian defense into a narrower sort of shape. Then you have that space created down the left for Tiraton to go and use.
So had a quick look across a couple times. Adesak waiting for support. Back on it. Goes very wide. Here's Borden. Asking for the free kick. He gets it.
That's good work by Adesak. It's a good player to be able to bring on, right? Sharul's gone to sleep there. He switched off. Adesak makes a run in behind. And even finds Ekanet. Enough of a challenge put in though by Dominic.
Dominic had it just enough there, didn't he? Here's Tiraton now to swing this one in. Not quite the same kind of quality of delivery. Here's Reventhren for Malaysia. Lovely work from him, Faisal Halim. They're trying to break free here, Malaysia. Brendan Gunn. Sasalak in the way. Pansa gets it up to Ekanet. Adesak is lurking. Is he going to get the ball? Adesak, did they get in each other's way? Still alive here. Piradon didn't shoot. Comes off Dominic, I think it was. I think he's still limping, actually. Coming back again, Thailand. Dominic, not convincing. Sarath in a good position there.
Yeah, lovely work from Thailand. This time down the right, the connections in possession. Plays close to each other. Goes inside, back out to Borden with the cross. Sarath just not getting the connection.
Now Sharul has gone down.
The two central defenders in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, now, is this something that had no contact on him? He's not happy, so he's probably indicating.
Oh, that was the follow through there. A challenge from Adesak. That's why he's stayed down, Sharul. Touching his ankle. He should be okay to continue, I think. Hey, there you go. There's Lita, the arm leaning into him.
So Lita. For Bukhari. Oh, that wasn't all that far away. Hansa trying to get involved. Look at that space for Ekanet. Edge of the area, beautiful goal! Borden finishes him wonderfully. Not so sure about the celebration, but who cares? Thailand are 2 up here.
That's a good finish by Borden. Controlled with the finish. And then pass into him. Such wonderful awareness of the positions of his teammates in the area. Ekanet. Let's have a look. Look at the numbers they get in there, Thailand. 4 blue shirts, 5 including Ekanet. Finds a perfect cutback into Borden, who keeps his cool, remembers his technique, wraps his foot around it, and sends it past Ahmad Shihan. He holds off his teammates as well, just so he can do a little, I don't know what you call that.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to give me a description.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to describe it.
So, in a much healthier position now with that second goal. 2-1 on aggregate. Of course, it still remains if Malaysia get a goal of their own, they would go through on the away goals. So you want to have another one really, just to be safe.
But yeah, again, I mean, don't worry too much about those attack numbers. You have a look at the attempts and the attempts on target, and you have a look at the overall dominance that Thailand have had on this match.
They've come out again, despite the loss of Tirasin, but they've come out with renewed vigor.
Yeah. This, again, such a good side, so well coached. Say, Adisak comes on, and he's a different sort of profile to Tirasin in some way, in that he's able to run a little bit more, has more legs in that sense. Quite willing to go and put defenders under pressure, press and harry, run into the channels, chase down passes forward. Whereas, well, just have a look at those attempts. All Thai players.
Yeah, no surprises there. Listen to that noise in the crowd now. Well, Malaysia need a goal still. They've got to loosen the shackles somehow, don't they?
Well, as you said, they get a goal here and they go through.
Yeah.
If it ends that way, if it ends
Correct.
2-1 to them. So,
But they've got to have some attacking intent though, right?
yeah.
To do that.
It hasn't looked like they're going to score just yet. They haven't created enough. They've not done enough in possession.
Urgency being injected into this now from Malaysia. Tiraton, best of situations for him. Kritsada clears.
Yes, I really do like him a lot, Kritsada. Such a good footballer. He plays in central midfield, plays in central defense for Thailand. And he doesn't look out of place at all. He's just a class act in that position, Kritsada.
Supanan up towards Adisak.
handball.
He's saying handball, but he got it on his chest. That's the point he's trying to make. Faisal Halim has to go back, looking for a way of making inroads here in Malaysia. Ruventiran. Back with Thailand. Faisal Halim just stolen that off Tiraton and had a shot. He's the man who could do something for them, perhaps.
Yeah, he's trying to get himself more involved. You know, like I said, he hasn't gotten the service, so he's trying to do it himself. And we saw a little bit of a run from him earlier, from a deeper position in his own half, and charged forward with it, and there it was him who took the ball off Tiraton, and a shot from range. So he's trying to drag his side back into this tie. Borden at the moment on that right hand side. They kind of tweak things around a little bit, perhaps, Thailand? Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, Borden's back in there. Now Sasalak's getting forward. Tiraton stays in his more of his central position because they don't need to be as sort of open and expansive. They can, now they've got those 2 goals.
Just past the hour mark. Thailand finally in the lead on aggregate. There's another handball the referee picks up on. Is there a further change here from Mano Polking, who actually said he was very surprised by how much Thailand dominated in that first leg. Didn't expect that. Said he was happy his team won every second ball, had all those shots. He said it was very difficult to accept that loss. A little bit of panic at the back here. Piradon right into Brendan Garn's path. Can't enough of a touch on. Nicely done by Sasalak. Oh, wonderful play by Thailand.
Yeah, I mean, Kritsada, at the speed at which it's happening as well, to do that, he's being closed down by Faisal Halim, but he can't make a mistake there because he loses it. He's out of position. Faisal's in behind. Just shifts it from, what was it, left to right?
Yeah. Very quick shift. It was just good. All the Sasalak as well played his part in all of that. Here's Wilkin. Tuck just loses his footing. Malaysia keep hold of the ball. Faisal Halim. Sarat, as he just pulled back there by Brendan Gunn.
Yeah, lovely play by Sarat. Really good play. I mean, he's, you know, there's been a lot of focus on Tiraton and the work that he's done, the quality that he's provided. Now he's been an important player for Thailand. People seem to have forgotten Sarat and his quality. And he just seems to have just gone under the radar a little bit, Sarat.
Such is the fate of a number 6.
And for years now, he's just been such a lovely footballer to watch. Really good technically.
Malaysia want to take that quickly. They want to move things around. They come forward. Here's Sasalak. Look at it. He's been given a yellow card. So Malaysia is at least Dominic Tan is okay after that coming together right at the start of the second half. Malaysia still have 3 more changes that they can make to try and change the complexion of this game. Hakimi and Aguero choices for that, perhaps, as they go in search of a goal. Apart from that one Faisal Halim chance, they've just not had a look at it again, have they?
No.
In the second half.
That's not been happening. And Thailand are just quite happy to sit back a little bit in their own half.
Yeah.
Allow Malaysia to have that spell of possession, but still the away side haven't been able to do much with it.
That was the yellow card. There we go. A little bit unnecessary, perhaps. Just trying to slow things down in case Brendan Gov's going to take that quickly.
Yeah. He's had a good game, making it. I mean, aside from the goal that he set up for Bordin, he looked really sharp, playing off the right-hand side in the first half.
Oh, lots of space here, Sasalak. Malaysia. Oh yeah, of course, we forgot about Safawi. He didn't start today. So Fazli Mazlan is off. And Safawi comes on. Now, let's see how they're going to rejig things.
Yeah, it just looks like Ruventeren will drop into left back where Fazli was. Darren Locke, it looks like, is pushed over to the left-hand side. We'll see. Oh no, Darren Locke's going to stay up front. Faisal Halim on the left. Lita moving into more of a central role. So they've got that front 4 essentially in Malaysia here.
That goes in favour of Malaysia. Is that another change?
Just backing into Wilkin from the referee's perspective.
So Wiratep is going to come on for Bordin.
Interesting one now with Thailand's shape. Wiratep coming on. Obviously a very different type of player to Bordin. Well, seems to have dropped into left back Wiratep. Sasalak's gone a bit further forward.
There he is right now. Quite happy to exchange passes there.
on with DIRETTA playing at left back. He's normally a central midfielder and someone who's very composed in possession. You saw an example of there. Strong challenge. A yellow card for Dominic Tan just went right through Adisa. Right in front of the referee.
Born in Singapore, Dominic Tan opted to play for the country of his parents where they were born. Dominic Tan is brought in on the bench. A couple of changes for Thailand now.
Well, that's that composure of Wiratep that I was talking about.
Ekane. That space here, oh chance! The second time of asking. Thailand have got the goal and Adisak, perhaps he's made it safe now. It looked like the chance might have just escaped from him, but he made sure.
There's that safety net. Adisak, what an impact he's made since he's come on. But Wiratep, being that change, it starts from Wiratep down the left because he has that composure to hang on to it under pressure from Safawi, takes it past him, takes it past the press, and that opens the pitch up for Thailand to then get forward. So much space in midfield. They get it out onto the right to Supanan. Finds Adisak, who's quicker than the rest of that Malaysian defense to react to his own effort coming off the post.
Not bad for a makeshift left back to start the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, really, some of the goals that Thailand have scored this evening have been brilliant. Brilliant. They've all been team efforts. You take that back to where it started at that point, it was Wiratep again, just quality play under pressure. Cool and calm. One moment opens up the pitch. They go and really punish the away side.
Well, Malaysia have it all to do now. They need 2 goals. Now, was there a lash out there from Sarat? Aguero is also on now, by the way.
Sarat's confused about why he's been booked. A challenge from Safawi. Sarat just goes into Aguero.
Oh.
He's really done nothing, Sarat.
He was on the end of it, wasn't he?
It's so much play acting by Aguero.
Well, Sarat's gone in the book. Has Aguero as well? Yes, he has.
Still going at it. Sarat and Aguero.
It's getting very niggly. Brendan Gunn is saying, got the ball.
Nah, he got none of the ball. Went right through the back of Tiraton. There's just a lot of frustration for Malaysia. They haven't been in this game.
Sasalak. There's Sarat. The crowd appreciating everything now. Now, a couple times you've seen Mano poking, put his hand up saying, ref, sorry, to his own players, let's not showboat, and it's just irritated the Malaysians who've reacted to it, and it's a yellow card for Safawi. Oh, yeah, oh, that's not a good one, is it?
No, it's not a good challenge at all, but DIRETTA sees him coming. Is he trying to say no yellow card for Safawi? Interesting.
Yeah, because he was actually telling his players not to do it, not to showboat earlier. Twice it happened.
Yeah, he was.
And he was like, guys, enough. And I think that's where he kind of understood where the Malaysians was coming from. I didn't justify the elbow from Safawi. Now Kim Pang-on, now what's he reacted to, do you think?
I think he's unhappy with his players for losing their heads, essentially. That's what he's going to say. It's a waste of time.
Getting caught in this.
Getting caught in this.
Yeah.
And Thailand is, you know, they're going to take their time in these situations. It breaks up the rhythm of the play when Malaysia want to get going. He wants his players to keep their heads.
They're falling into a bit of a trap, right?
They're picking up these yellow cards, and you know, he needs the players on there for any sort of possible comeback that they want to try and muster.
What's your view on showboating from players?
I mean, I kind of enjoy
it, right? Yeah.
The game is there to be, you know, football
it's
is there to be
right?
enjoyed.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get joy out of it. You need to be entertained, you know, or you want to be entertained. A change here as Sarat comes off, and he's had a really good game.
Yeah.
He's pumped as well. He came off, had that war cry, pumping his fist.
Razahal was told to get off the ground. Now Tiraton. He's also, again, having a little bit of a shimmy. He's got that in him, Tiraton. So you enjoy watching it as a broadcaster, as a commentator. What about when you were a pro? When you were a player and you were on the receiving end of it?
Of course you'd be frustrated, of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, Thailand wouldn't be doing this. They weren't doing this when they were 1-0 down in Malaysia. They weren't, right?
Right.
So you look at yourself, if you're Malaysia and you say Thailand have kind of earned the right to basically showboat a little bit because they put themselves in such a comfortable position.
They're 3-0 up after going 1-0 down. They played so well today. They're in front of their home crowd.
Like you know what I'm saying, in the sense that Malaysia have given them this opportunity to go and showboat.
Instead of being frustrated with them, they got to look inwardly and think, guys, we've got to sort ourselves out.
Yeah.
Which is probably what Kim Pang-on is also trying to get across. He looks angry. So here's the reaction from Malaysia, perhaps. Lee Tuck. Look across the referee. He's not stopping play. Safawi. They need 2 goals in about 15 odd minutes from now to force this to go into extra time. Actually, no, excuse me. 2 more goals and they're through. They win. By virtue of the away goals. We cannot have extra time.
No, we can't.
Now. You just can't see 2 goals. You can't see 1 goal at the moment, the way they're playing, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, miracles have happened on the football pitch. Strange things have happened. But up to this point, it hasn't looked likely. They haven't looked like scoring.
There's Ali Sak. Yeah, it's just frustration all around.
Yeah, he wanted to take the throw in quickly, but there were no options for him to restart the play. It's a chance to play it into
Sergio
Aguero, who's in
yeah.
acres of space in the middle of the pitch, and they've just ignored him.
Malaysia have had just 3 shots today. Malaysian fans, some of them travelled 19 hours to get here to the Thammasat Stadium. It's going to feel a very long journey back if it ends like this. Oh, what a superb ball from Sumanya. Adisak on his own though. What a lovely ball though.
Well weighted pass. Good run made by Adisak as well. Just had too much to do.
Engineered something quite brilliant here today. Manapolking. It's given away. Aguero. Supanan. They're happy just to stroke it around now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And it's again another way of just taking the intensity out of the game.
Final change for Malaysia, and it's Brendan Gunn, replaced by the young forward Akam Yazim.
Yes, we're right. After all, patches do win matches.
There are a few more of them as well. Now, I'll be interested to see, assuming they do go through now, of course, what he wears for the finals.
Well, he's got to maintain the same outfit.
Now he can't change it, right?
He can't change it because it's the beginning of a new run.
A new wardrobe.
Shoving the back on Aguero from Ikanit. Well, there's still some ways to go. But
For Malaysia?
But it looks like Thailand are going to go through. I'm just thinking about that final now.
Lip smacking, right?
Yeah.
Here's Ruventiran. Thailand handled that pretty well, don't they? Sasalak knew what was going to happen next. He just waited for it.
Yeah, it's a clear shove in the back from Hakimi.
Malaysia have got all their forwards on now, really. They left it to these guys to try and do something.
I think it's for DIRETTA. The yellow card is for time wasting.
Couple of changes here. Jakapan, who played in the last game, places Supanan. Excuse me, Pansa's off as well now. Chalamsak. This is an opportunity for him. Running through Sasalak.
Yeah, purely an accidental coming together between Sasalak and Aguero. Nice idea.
Comes off Ravendra in last. Nothing's really falling their way right now. With even more of a flourish here. Lovely ball from Tiraton to Sasalak. They are putting on some good stuff here, Thailand. The shot from Piradon is blocked. They just look like the side more likely to score the next goal.
Yeah, they've been so good to watch this evening.
Piradon, can he finish off? That's an important intervention there from Safawi to deny Sumania. Faisal Halim, been his day, has it? There. Look at what Tiraton's doing. Here's that opportunity earlier for Sumania.
Yeah, good effort, good shot by Piradon. I think initially when he first received it, he might have just thought about the curler towards the far post, but that angle was closed down by Dominic. So he just went with the drive in between the two defenders. Good work by Sumania.
Never got below 60% really in this game. Today, Thailand really dominated the ball. A ball changed to nothing really for Lee Tuck. Perhaps summing up what it's been like for Malaysia and their fans. Kim Pangon, his team has been outplayed. It's been interesting, isn't it, Roshan, because it's sort of the established powers, Vietnam and Thailand, in the first leg were not at their best, and the opposition in Indonesia and Malaysia outplayed them at times. Malaysia, they rode their luck a little bit,
Yep.
but they came with the advantage. As we revisit that later, here's Romania. Oh, there was an opportunity there! And another one. They had the overlap on one side. Look at that, Piradon. Could be 4 or 5,
Yeah.
6.
Malaysia have been outclassed. Outclassed, outplayed. As Thailand have just been all over them and in complete control.
And just to finish off what I was saying, it's when it mattered most in that second leg, the form and the class, the whole form class thing, temporary, permanent,
Yep.
it kind of came through, didn't it?
Well, they ripped their opposition apart, both Thailand and Vietnam. When they played at home, they just absolutely destroyed. Indonesia were offered nothing against Vietnam last night, and the same with Malaysia here against Thailand. And you just see that gulf in class, that gulf in quality.
It's almost when they step up a gear, and then it does show that disparity.
And again, there might be people listening to this saying, well, Malaysia, this is not the real Malaysian side, this is the B team, so and so. But this isn't Thailand's strongest side available as well.
That's very true.
And you think of the run that they've been on, Thailand, Malapolking hasn't made too many changes.
No, he has.
He's pretty much stuck with the same 11, one change here and there.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible, the run that they've had. And you know, I think Malaysia, to give them some credit, can actually be proud of their run themselves. Again, it's not their strongest available squad. They've given a good account of themselves, but they just come up against a side who have far too much quality for them.
Well, we have only about a minute and a half left of the 3 minutes of added time. Put on some great football. That should be a Thailand throw. Kim Pang-on asking in vain for that to be awarded to Malaysia. But it's been a great year. It's been about 1 year since he's come in, Kim Pang-on, and
Yes.
you can see the seeds of what he's
Yeah.
trying to grow.
Exactly, and the thing is, for Malaysia as a whole, bigger picture, they've got an Asian Cup to look forward to as well.
First ever qualification.
Even Indonesia have an Asian Cup to
Since
look
1980,
forward to as well. So, you know, the 4 sides that we've had in the semi-final of this competition, the 4 nations, will be going on to play at the bigger stage.
Adisak. Many people might still remember, Malaysian fans might remember the 10-0 hammering back in 2015. Malaysia suffered at the hands of the UAE, and they thought they were in the doldrums. They have lost it here, and Thailand are through to yet another final. The record winners of this event, Thailand, have absolutely hammered Malaysia tonight and been by far the better side.
They've been the better team, there's no doubt. I think even across 2 legs, they have outclassed Malaysia. They fully deserve this win. They fully deserve to be going through into the final of this competition. But we'll get to see the top 2 sides in Southeast